Hello, my name is Warren McCray. Welcome to week 4 of Patterns and Recognition. I'm doing a presentation on In-N-Out Burger. Um, Very dear to me. I'm from Southern California, and this is my favorite burger joint to go to. And let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about it. Um, like I said, this burger company hails from good old sunny California. They've been in business for 6 decades. And they have serenaded tongues and filled stomachs with their amazing burgers. And if you haven't had one, I suggest you go and get one. Their mantra of courteousness, kindness, and cleanliness has been a staple. And this company last year made $807 million of revenue. And I got that information from the GSR Top 50 for the year 2017. In-N-Out is a very successful burger company, and it was founded in 1946 by Harry and Esther Snyder. They're headquartered in Irvine, California, and they have kept their company reach to a small demographic, mainly focusing on 6 states: California, Texas, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and Oregon. Um, they maintain a stance of freshness by never freezing their foods and only using the freshest vegetables, which is why they are located in those areas because their distribution centers are so close to these states. Um, so, In-N-Out has grown very well in the United States, and in the last 5 years, they've increased in sales by 40%, and they continue to grow. As you can see on the chart below, in 2013, they grossed 487 million. 2014, 550 million. 2015, they grossed 614 million. 2016, 630, and 2017, 807 million. In-N-Out has over 300 locations in the U.S., all grossing nearly about $2.5 million in sales yearly. As you can see, they're predominantly located in California and Nevada, though they do have a small base in Texas, Utah, and Arizona. No, Nevada. So, marketing strategy for In-N-Out is to go after young singles, high school students, and college students, families, and tourists. Their menu pricing is below the norm when you go to like a Burger King or a Five Guys place, and they're looking to expand on the East Coast, but again, with the distribution centers not located in those areas, they want to ensure fresh food. So there has been, I've been contacted by In-N-Out to do a business analysis because they're looking to expand in Toronto, Canada. Toronto, Canada, I've been there before. It's very nice and booming, very diverse, and I think In-N-Out it has a great idea with the thought of expanding there. So in doing so, there's a few things we need to pay attention to. Pretty much, we need to ensure that they market their product effectively. And so right now, In-N-Out pays its marketing team about $1 million to maintain their social media imprint, and I expect the cost to increase by an additional $1 million with the move to Toronto, with the influx of customers and the people they need to reach. And there's going to be a lot of work on the social media team to do so. On this site, you can get lots of deals and a lot of apparel that they use to push their product. At this current time, In-N-Out uses Social Bakers as a data analytics tracker to see their trends and their fan demographics. That right now costs about $2 million annually, but with the move to Toronto, it will cost probably about another $1 million, as they will have a lot of population to deal with when it comes to that. And this will also need a network analysis, which is vital to ensure the product is feasible to meet the customer needs and let In-N-Out know where they can improve to meet customer satisfaction. I pulled this I pulled this from Social Bakers' site, and it shows you the amount of followers or fans that they have on their page. Though In-N-Out does not utilize commercials for their company, unlike many other chains that spend hundreds of millions in campaigns, In-N-Out uses a different method to spread the word about their product. They use billboards, bumper stickers, T-shirts, and plain word of mouth to push its products, which shows you the power of their company and their product, because they are grossing, $800 million with that marketing scheme. At the moment, they spend about $22 million annually on the bumper stickers, shirts, and billboards. And I'm thinking, with there not being any established marketing tools like that in Toronto, in looking at the costs to do so, I think the post Toronto expansion cost will be an additional $13 million for them to suffice. So the total cost for marketing with expansion will be $15 million. So let's talk about some of the facts. Based on a 2015 study, In-N-Out took data from the years 1995 to 2010, and over those 15 years, they were able to see a 20% increase in sales due to its increase in marketing. I remember back in the 1990s, there was mainly just a few commercials here and there, and just really billboards. But Toronto has a current population of 2.7 million people, and after the data crunching, if they're able to reach 5% of that market, they would have 540,000 new customers. And with each customer spending $14 per month at In-N-Out, their sales would increase by $91 million annually, which is a big boost for In-N-Out, and that would show about a tenth of what they're making right now just with one move to Toronto. Here I have a tree diagram that I used in addition to my Bayes theorem, basically showing that In-N-Out gets 20%. In-N-Out gets 20% increase. If they do increase, it's an 80% chance that that they might succeed, or 20% that they'll fail. And if they don't use commercials, they get a decrease. And even though they might get a decrease in sales, 10% might still succeed. But when you crunch the numbers, commercials increase annual sales in fast food companies by 20%. With that 80%, businesses will continue to grow and be successful, while still 20% of companies will still fail incorporating commercials. 10% of companies will still succeed through their commercials, do not get an increase in sales. So using Bayes' theorem, with A being commercial increase sales by 20%, and B being revenue will increase by 20%, the probability that In-N-Out will increase in sales by 20% with its expansion to Toronto is 67%. In conjunction with this $91 million increase, due to its 5% demographic boost that we talked about on the last slide, In-N-Out would increase its annual sales by $105 million just by incorporating more commercials into their product and tackling the marketing scheme. So moving to a new location, Toronto will push In-N-Out to nearly $916 million in sales in 2019, which I think is a sound move. Now, when we talk about trends and correlations and that matter, there is a trend present with the location of an In-N-Out franchise, and out of the 300 shops on the West Coast, those closer to an airport or schools or an economic area tend to do better than locations that are rural or don't have a bigger population, though they do have locations there. But as you can see, In-N-Out has done a very good job of placing their establishments in key areas. If you look at the graph, with the number of establishments near, 276 within 10 miles of a college high school, they're getting $400 million off of that. And if they're in an industrial or economic region, there's 89 establishments there, and they're having 186 average sales per year. And as you can see, in the rural, low density areas, they have about 35 establishments there, and only gross $45.5 million off those areas. So it will behoove In-N-Out to place their locations in nearest colleges, high schools, and industrial areas. And so in those industrial areas, mainly when they're trying to go after the demographic, they're trying to go after young millennials, high school, college. Well, if you look at this map here, the darker brown areas are where there are deeper populations of those young people that are going to school, and where an economic influx is present. And so, after doing an analysis on different locations, York University Heights, 22 to 34% is dense with youth in the ages of 15 to 24 years old, which is a lot of their customers. A lot of their customers are young. A lot of their customers are hip, and also need a quick meal. Also, on the last slide, you see these brown areas. That's what I'm covering on this slide. Entertainment district also has a 22 to 34% demographic of just young students, as well as Malvern and Smithville with 15 to 22% of youth at the age of 15 and 24. York University Heights would be my first location to build an In-N-Out. I went on nexthome.ca, and it did have good things to say about York University Heights, stating that there's a laid-back feel to York University Heights, perhaps owing to the massive student population. Sunny afternoons, you'll find people sprawled over lawns and parks, but there's more to life than York itself, and the area's large and entrenched Italian, Chinese, and Caribbean populations enhance the dining and shopping options for residents. And I think In-N-Out would add to that area, as it is fresh and catchy, and another place that young student people or tourists or business people would go to. I did find correlations due to the different quarters of the year. It seems that In-N-Out makes a lot of its sales during the second and third quarter. In this chart, we see temporal correlations due to different quarters of the year, mainly due to the weather, I believe. Spring and summer months, which are the second and third quarter, make patrons get out of the house more around those times. And with this data, we can suggest an uptick in sales during the warmer months in Toronto, which would be the second and third quarter. Okay, when it comes to a network analysis, I do believe that In-N-Out will have to outsource or develop a better way of tracking their data. Currently, In-N-Out uses an outdated server-based SQL tool to track their data, but they track all their data, which is merged together. And I think if the move is to migrate to Toronto, a solid OLAP system will have to be employed as well. The use of an OLAP cube system will extract information that wasn't initially needed for metrics or analysis and extrapolate it so that rapid analysis and a large amount of information can be stored. I think a consult with MicroStrategy, as they are one of the industry leaders with the post office and other top 500 companies, I think that would be a good move for In-N-Out to do, so that they can get data specific to the regions of which they need to get the data from, as again, their current system is outdated. So with that said, Toronto is a great move for In-N-Out. Not only does it have a booming economy, it's also very diverse. there's a big population of young millennials present. The government is in need of a more economic upturn, and 915 million would be a great boost to to this area. This type of product, is a grade A burger, and is one that Canadians don't have much experience with, and with its low cost and taste, I think it will surely make more friends. Lastly, becoming intercontinental will push In-N-Out to diversify and compete with the bigger fast food chains. Um, Toronto is a great country and a great city, and I think In-N-Out would make a great business move by locating in Toronto and establishing a few more chains. With that said, that's the end of my show. That's the end of my discourse, and I hope you enjoyed. Again, my name is Warren McCray. Have a great day. Talk to you later.